C++ variables. C++ programs are made up of collections of code that manipulate data to perform a task. This data is stored in objects called variables. To declare a variable, you specify the data type of the variable and then provide it a simple name that would describe its purpose. In this example, int is the data type. Age is the variable name. Since this is a statement, we end it with a semicolon. When you declare a variable in your program, the compiler sets aside storage space in its memory, often referred to as RAM. An integer data type takes up 4 bytes of memory space. A variable is the name given to this storage location. In this example, age is the name of these 4 bytes of space that have been set aside in RAM. When naming a variable, you should use something that is meaningful and self-descriptive. Variable names may often contain multiple words to help describe its purpose. Since variable names cannot contain spaces, programmers often use camel casing when using multiple words to name a variable. In camel casing, the first character of each word is capitalized, except the first word. There are a few rules that you must follow when naming variables. One, variable names cannot contain spaces. In this example, this is an invalid name because of the space between my and age. Number two, they must be made up of letters or numbers. In C++, underscores are considered letters. This is an invalid name because of the number sign. This is an invalid name because of the apostrophe. Number three, the first character must be a letter. This is an invalid name because the variable name does not begin with a letter. And number 4, they cannot be words that are reserved for C++ commands. This is an invalid name because exit is a C++ command. All variables must begin with a data type. The data type specifies the type of data that the variable will store. In this tutorial series, we will be discussing 4 common data types. The int, which represents an integer value, the char, which represents a single character value, the bool, which represents a boolean or true and false value, and the float, which represents a floating point number value. To assign a value to the variable, we use the equal sign. But note, in C++, the equal sign does not mean equal to. In this example, the variable age is assigned the value 16. The data type specifies the type of data that the variable will store. In this example, the variable age has an integer data type. Therefore, the value assigned to age must be an integer. Character values are assigned using single quotes. In this example, the variable choice is assigned the value y. A bool data type must return a true or false value. In this example, the variable continue game is assigned the value true. A float data type allows you to use floating decimal values. In this example, the variable pi is assigned the value 3.14.